Hey guys, how are you? So I did a video up top here at 21 and a half Bitcoin about this inverted HVF that you see here. Lots of scribblings. Go check that video. I'm not going to run through it again. Calling a top on BCH, short to medium term. That was that inverted HVF. It made that target. It rallied, couldn't clear the funnel, got stuck in the funnel, down, down, down. Very flat bottom setup. Secondary impulse, third impulse. It's now broken the third impulse, rallied back in, and is selling off. It's heading for 13s, having been recently up at nigh on 25s at 24s. 24 seems to be a big number against Bitcoin. I noticed Ripple failed at that level and sold off really, really hard. We know that Ethereum, I think, only got to around 15s and then sold all the way back down to 6s against Bitcoin. So there's a relative value assessment that seems to come into play when coins start getting a bit too big for their boots relative to the mighty Bitcoin, it seems. Anyway, that comment aside, targets are down here for 13 to be run. And my expectation is this is quite a big setup. That was the first initial setup. We've had two inverteds where now one's already made target. We've had a lot of flat bottom descending triangles that are breaking down, returning up to this level. There was a key level there at 19, which had formed the base here, which it was trying to hold and winding up to break. So 19's been a key number. That then rallied just through it, and now it's not been able to get there since. So I expect further downside on the BCH stroke BCC complex, and we were one of the first to call a top here, and it's a very dangerous thing to do in crypto. I'm prepared to stick my neck out at times, and people lambast me. People hated on me forever when I called the top on Ethereum, and they were all telling me how wrong we were. And we were a tad early on that occasion, and the next high it made and just rolled, and then it rolled and rolled. And had you got out at the level that we'd initially suggested, you would have saved yourself the better part of a 68% write down from about 15% of a Bitcoin all the way down to just in the low sixes. So it's worth hearing, and it's HVF method that helps us determine it. Everybody's a hero in the buy and the long only holds game, but being able to notice the change in directions and knowing when to switch is the real key sign of a great crypto trader, and we aspire to help people get better at that while doing so ourselves, and nobody ever has a 100% record either. So you always open yourself to everyone, the mockery that goes with making a big call on something that then goes up and up and up even further. So it's a dangerous thing to do as a commentator, but the point is, if you aren't bold and you aren't going to call it like you see it, and be occasionally prepared to be wrong, you never get those key turning points, and that is this. This is a critical sign. So this looks like it's got the 12s in its sights, and that could be then overperformance to the downside. So I ain't holding a coin in an inverted HVF, and I would even consider shorts against a stronger coin were that to be possible. That said, it's worth, let me just see if I've got Bitcoin closely by. It is somewhere. Ethereum actually is the one that's getting the pops at the moment. So for those wondering which one to get out or to get into if you're getting out of your BCH, there are worse places than Ethereum. This also has a risk of a left shoulder head and then a rising wedge right shoulder. We called it here. It broke down out of that wedge, kind of kissed this working neckline that we have at around number of 3950. So it's quite interesting too, of Bitcoin. So just assuming that Bitcoin is going to be your safe haven is possibly not right. The two Bitcoins, the originals and the subsequents, may have done exceedingly well. In fact, we know they did because we were sitting in them and enjoying it. Both of them, particularly BCC and BCH, in terms of multiples, it's really, really gave and kept giving. may be a bit tired now, and this could have targets down to these levels, and of course with head and shoulders you can overperform on that as well. That's not to say it happens, it's just to say there's a dangerous potential price behavior scenario that could occur here on the break of the 39.50 level. So if you're a Bitcoin holder, you don't want to see that level fall. It could mean the triggering of a head and shoulders. What typically happens though is then it spills a bit and then it rallies back up even to the neckline, even just through it, and everyone thinks it's okay. And that's usually when the biggest spank comes. That's what's called the return move. So keep an eye out for Bitcoin and BCC or BCH as you call it, looking bearish. The alternatives actually are those that have been hit real hard, like Ethereum, if you want the big altcoins, or otherwise the smaller ones. There's some exciting stuff going on, but that's beyond the scope of this video. That's me, I'm done. Francis Hunt, the market sniper, the crypto sniper as well. Go to the website, it's www.themarketsniper.com. contact us, show you that real quick, and you can have a chat with me about your trading in cryptos and how you too can book in and find out more about the methodology, the mindset, and also the great market that we have here in cryptos. This perfect intersection is a great opportunity for building your wealth. That's all from me. Speak well, trade well, trade small. None of what I say is a recommendation. I'm not regulated. These are just my opinions. Good luck. Trade safe.